I have to come with it all. I have to do more. Obviously, just to secure the win is doing just enough to get a draw.
On the outside, and that's going to help, like I said, the fighters that's up and coming.
Rumors are swirling that Floyd Mayweather is now personally working with Lamont Roach as he prepares for his highly anticipated rematch against Gervonta Davis. Mayweather, renowned for his legendary defensive brilliance and unmatched boxing IQ, is reportedly helping Roach refine his footwork, tighten his defensive reactions, and elevate his strategic awareness inside the ring. This mentorship could be the secret weapon Roach needs to shift the odds in his favor. With Floyd's tactical expertise guiding him, Roach might be crafting the kind of game plan that could finally crack the code of Davis's aggressive style and give him a real shot at victory in their upcoming showdown. Recent training footage of Lamont Roach has caught the attention of boxing insiders. His hand speed looks razor-sharp, his footwork is crisp, and his technical combinations flow effortlessly. Every punch he throws snaps with purpose, and his movements around the ring are fluid, efficient, and composed. It's clear that Roach has entered this training camp with a different level of focus. He's showing no signs of hesitation or fatigue, just relentless dedication and precise execution. His body language and sharpness suggest that he's pushing himself to new limits as he prepares for the rematch, determined to leave no room for doubt when he steps back into the ring with Davis. Lamont Roach isn't just training harder, he's training with a mission. He's made it clear in recent interviews that he's pushing himself beyond previous boundaries, fueled by the lingering controversy surrounding the outcome of their first fight. Roach feels he has something to prove. He's not satisfied with just competing, he wants to dominate this time. He knows that to silence critics and erase any doubts about his ability to beat Davis, he must step into the ring as the best version of himself. His mindset is locked in, and his preparation reflects a fighter who understands that anything less than perfection won't be enough to walk away with the win.
I have to come with it all. I have to do more. Obviously, just to secure the win is doing just enough to get a draw. So I have to push harder. I have to train harder. I have to be more mean. I have to be more physical. I have to do a lot. I have to do everything just a little more. And I think that will definitely put me over the hump, and I'm more than motivated to get back in there, get back in the camp, and work hard so I can secure a victory over a pound-for-pound fighter, in which I believe that I am myself.
Throughout his career, Floyd Mayweather has always gravitated toward mentoring younger fighters, especially those with untapped potential. His influence on Gervonta Davis's early rise to stardom is well documented. Floyd provided Davis with invaluable guidance, promotional opportunities, and elite-level boxing strategies that helped shape Tank into the champion he is today. But with Davis now separated from Mayweather Promotions, Floyd's attention has turned to other promising fighters like Roach. This new mentorship adds another fascinating wrinkle to the rematch narrative. Mayweather once built Davis into a star, and now he could be coaching the man who stands in Davis's way.
Do you will come back to boxing?
Oh no. I'm not coming back to the sport of boxing. The sport of boxing was good to me. I was able to make a lot of smart investments on the outside, and I just want to help. Like I said, the fighters that's up and coming. Like I was talking about, like Gervonta Tank Davis. I don't understand why he's not in the top 10 pound for pound. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, Benavidez. The list goes on. There's so many tough fighters out there. So many great young champions out there that I'm proud of.
Mayweather has often taken public credit for Gervonta Davis's success, repeatedly reminding fans and the media of the role he played in crafting Davis's career. However, these comments haven't always sat well with Davis, who's eager to establish his own independent legacy. Over time, the strain in their relationship became more visible, with Davis reportedly growing frustrated by Floyd's continued presence in his narrative. The subtle tension between the two has only intensified the personal stakes of this rematch. It's no longer just about Roach versus Davis, it's about Mayweather potentially using Roach to defeat the very fighter he once helped create.
Tank Davis, he was a young kid, came up to me when he was a kid, wanted an autograph. I signed his phone for him and told him, "You'll be world champion someday, and I'll be your promoter." Years later, he was working with some people from our team, because our team is huge. We got guys in DC, Baltimore, Philly, New York, all around. He won a few fights. I think he was like 8 or 9-0. I told him, in under 24 months, you'll be world champion. Made the right moves, put him in the right position. He's a multi-millionaire now.
Absolutely.
He was a kid that couldn't even buy a bus ticket. Now he's a multi-millionaire.
This isn't the first time Floyd Mayweather has lent his knowledge to someone preparing to face Gervonta Davis. He previously assisted Frank Martin in his preparation for a bout against Tank, offering him insights and strategies tailored to Davis's style. Mayweather's intimate understanding of Davis's tendencies, weaknesses, and ring habits gives any fighter he trains a unique edge. With Roach now potentially benefiting from Floyd's behind-the-scenes expertise, this could significantly tilt the strategic balance. Few people in the world know Davis as well as Mayweather does, and his input could prove to be the critical factor Roach needs.
Young fighters, he loves to embrace guys, so what was being around talking to Floyd? Like, what has Floyd taught you about fighting, and has it made you a better fighter? Because he could tell me all day to do that shit he does. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what does being around a guy like Floyd do for you?
He could tell you, go run at 2 in the morning. You know, go do it when, cause 9 times out of 10, we know your opponents sleep at that time. So go run at 2 in the morning and go give yourself a mental edge, you know, like, cause you know you out there working every night at 2 in the morning running. That's a lot of the times your opponents sleep. You know, it could be little things that'll take you to the next level. You know, that Floyd, a person like Floyd, like if he tell you that, you gonna take a lot of heave to it, and it's gonna give you a different type of motivation when you doing it. He could show you something, you know, and it could be the same thing. You know, you might not be able to do it like him, but just it coming from him, it'll give you like a different type of like feel about yourself.
Hold up, limitless, niggas to me cap pinning it. I thought they hear the.
You know, he the one told Frank that I was running at 7 o'clock in the morning, Friday. He told Frank that. He was giving Frank tips and stuff like that. But I knew for sure that wasn't going to be enough to beat me. It's cool. It's all right. You know? I don't really think too much of it. He's not going to hurt me. You know what I mean? So it's good to be with him than be cool with him, because he can do some crazy stuff. He'll put you in bad situations.
Mayweather's training philosophy has always emphasized a calculated, methodical approach to boxing. He preaches defensive excellence, technical mastery, and surgical precision over brute force and endless endurance. Roach's recent improvements suggest that he may be integrating some of these Mayweather principles into his evolving style. However, not everyone agrees with Floyd's training methods. Some critics argue that his fighters tend to rely too heavily on defensive tactics and technical perfection, sometimes neglecting the toughness and stamina required for grueling wars inside the ring. Others have questioned Mayweather's belief that shorter, focused training camps can fully prepare fighters for high-stakes bouts. Still, Floyd's track record speaks volumes, and Roach seems to trust the wisdom he's receiving.
You train 6 weeks before the fight, and Floyd Mayweather messed these boxers up, thinking that they can only train 6 weeks before the fight and then they'll be good. Y'all remember when Floyd said that? Give me 6 weeks, I'll beat him. And all these fighters adapted to that. Give me 6 weeks, I'll beat him. Only one that haven't adapted to it, I have to give them props where props is due, is Terrence Crawford.
As part of his preparation, Lamont Roach has expressed a strong interest in sparring with Jaron Bootsennis, one of the most explosive and technically gifted fighters in the sport. Roach believes that Ennis's unique combination of speed, footwork, and power closely resembles the challenges Gervonta Davis presents. Sparring with someone like Ennis could be the perfect simulation for Tank's style, forcing Roach to make adjustments and learn to handle the intensity Davis brings. Roach understands that this level of preparation could be the difference between just surviving in the ring and truly outclassing his opponent.
You did want to see him get some work with Boots. I saw in the interview.
Yeah, I'm gonna call hoops.
You gonna call him?
I'm gonna call him. But what? They say they what? They say that.
Shit, that's right up the road. That's right up the road.
Look, obviously, Tank doing. Obviously, Tank cracking. Hoops cracking. Why not?
Lamont Roach is fully aware that many fans and analysts have written him off, expecting another dominant performance from Davis. But Roach thrives on being underestimated. He's carrying a chip on his shoulder into this rematch, convinced that he will shock the world and deliver an upset that will silence the doubters. His confidence is unwavering. He genuinely believes that his skill set, combined with his meticulous preparation and strategic adjustments, will give him the tools to dethrone Davis. Roach isn't just fighting for a win, he's fighting to rewrite the narrative and prove that he belongs at the top of the sport.
But came to fight, was a very competitive fight, good fight. Yeah, you wore him down, I remember very well, wore him down, took control, looked very impressive. And the rumor is, not the rumor, the facts is you have a fight coming up in a few weeks versus Gervonta Tank Davis.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I want everybody to know that it's gonna be an upset.
Lamont Roach has been transparent about his training regimen and how thoroughly he's prepared for this rematch. He confidently stated that he has fine-tuned every aspect of his game, from increasing his punching power and building greater stamina to sharpening his defensive skills. Roach emphasized that he's worked tirelessly to ensure there are no weak spots in his arsenal. According to him, when he steps into the ring this time, he won't just be a better version of himself, he'll be a fully complete fighter, ready to control the fight on his terms and capable of handling everything Davis brings.
30 people, knocked out what, 28 of them, right? What makes you different?
He probably can't answer that question. He probably can't answer that question. But it's the skill, the will. I got the whole package, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not sitting there waiting to get hit by nobody, especially somebody that's supposed to be a power puncher. That's evidently a power puncher. I got too much. I got too much for me to go out like that. I'm not saying he don't, but I can't. Like, if anything, I'm trying to flip it around. I'm trying to make it flip the narrative. Like, I'm the one in it.
Jeff Mayweather, a respected boxing trainer and a longtime supporter of Gervonta Davis, provided an unexpected assessment of their first fight. After reviewing the bout closely, Jeff concluded that Roach actually threw and landed more effective punches than Davis throughout the contest. He admitted that Davis seemed to struggle more than he typically does and wasn't performing at the elite level fans have come to expect from him. Jeff even went as far as to suggest that Roach may have done enough to earn the victory on that night, hinting that the decision could have gone the other way.
That's the worst decision I think I might have ever seen. I don't know how that's not a knockdown. But anyway, thoughts on the overall fight first, Jeff?
I think that it was a good fight on both sides, and I do think that Roach actually won the fight. I thought he outworked Tank. Thought that he threw more punches than Tank. It seemed like Tank was fighting like he always do. It just seemed like he was just waiting for him to figure out whoever was in front of him like he always do and then go to work. But this time when he went to work, the guy went to work back. So, I mean, he had somebody that was firing back at him the same way.
I think the commentators and most of us at home thought, kind of the same thing. You thought Roach would bank some of those early rounds to prepare for the onslaught later. And when it didn't really happen, it was pretty even. We said, well, this is going to be a one-sided fight. But yeah, it never happened. And Roach, through the latter half of the fight actually seemed to do better than the first half.
I thought he did good pretty much all the way through the fight. I mean, there was a few rounds where he didn't do that well, but I mean, I thought he won the fight clearly. I mean, I didn't see Gervonta really the Gervonta that I know. I mean, I'm a big Gervonta fan, but I didn't see none of the Gervonta that I'm used to seeing.
Why do you think that is? Roach was pretty lightly, valued coming into the fight, moving up a weight class. It's not somebody that they expected to give him a huge challenge. What do you think it was that Roach presented to Tank that made it so difficult for him?
The one thing is that he fought at the right distance, and he let his hands go. And that's the most important part. Is that's how you win a fight, by letting your hands go. I mean, Gervonta was sitting back, waiting like he normally does, and then he all of a sudden he finishes him. He always finishes opponents, but this time it didn't happen.
Boxing enthusiast and outspoken figure Sauce Walka has not shied away from his belief that Lamont Roach outboxed Davis in their first encounter. He's been very vocal on social media and in interviews, arguing that Roach's superior game plan, disciplined execution, and tactical approach should have secured him the win. Sauce Walka insists that those with a deep understanding of boxing could clearly see Roach's performance outshine Davis's, regardless of the official decision. In his view, the fight exposed real vulnerabilities in Davis's game that fans should not ignore.
Think that they should have counted that point against him? Do you think Lamont Roach won, or do you think it wasn't enough?
It could be considered a rightful draw, but I also lean towards that Lamont Roach won that fight. I believe he won the fight simply because he outclassed the champ. In boxing, you have to do two things to beat the champ. You either got to knock out the champ or completely outclass the champ. But you have to beat the champ. You're not going to just get the win because you survived or you put up a good fight. Bro lost that fight.
Facts.
Like when you really, really know boxing and know boxing for what it really, really is, Tank lost that fight. No matter how much people, emotions and feelings are attached to it, because Tank is a hero of the hood. The ghetto loved the Tank. Gervonta Davis has been crowned king. My personal opinion, I don't think he should take the rematch, and I think he's already done what you just said. I think off of what he's already accomplished with the draw, he's already in a life-changing situation to where he could change every person around his life forever. He's now what's called a prize fighter, guaranteed. He's now what's also called a A-side fighter right now. But if he does what I like to call the Deontay Wilder and chase the legacy of getting the win, because you thinking from more of 100% on the boxing aspect than the business aspect, which Gervonta Davis has clearly showed everybody, the larger amount of his success is from the business module of the way he does boxing that was being gifted to him through Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions and PBC. But at the end of the day, so what? That's what he's supposed to do. I'm not mad at Gervonta Davis for that.
Popular boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult pointed out a peculiar moment in their first fight that raised eyebrows. He questioned why Gervonta Davis immediately returned to his corner after being knocked down, implying that this wasn't a typical reaction from a champion of Tank's caliber. Showbiz suggested that the knockdown may have rattled Davis more than he admitted publicly. The moment hinted at possible mental and physical discomfort that Davis couldn't fully hide, sparking debates about whether the knockdown had a more lasting effect on his confidence and rhythm during the fight.
Y'all explain to me how the hell that wasn't a knockdown. That was a knockdown, period. He took a knee for the break. That's a knockdown. You can't pump fake a knockdown. Everybody would be pump faking knockdowns. Y'all gonna be like, Tank was smart for that. You can't take a knee, pump fake a knockdown, and then walk to your corner in the middle of the round and scream for a towel, and they wipe you down, and there's gonna be y'all saying some disgusting shit. Y'all gonna be like, yeah, Tank can do what he wants, because Tank, yo, hey, listen, we ain't got that kind of time, dog. You can't do that, bro. If any part of your body other than your feet touch the canvas following a landed shot is a knockdown. Who is fixing the fights now? Oh, shit.
If Devin your God, y'all gotta pay me now. I gotta get the knockout. If not, y'all gonna give it to him.
Who is fixing the fights now?
Despite the questions raised about Tank's performance in the first fight, his team remains firmly confident in their original game plan. According to Davis's coach, they believe their initial strategy was sound and that no major adjustments are necessary. Instead of overhauling their approach, the team is focused on perfecting the small details, sharpening execution, tightening focus, and ensuring Davis enters the rematch fully prepared both physically and mentally. Their belief is that Davis didn't lose the tactical battle last time, he simply didn't perform at his best, and now they're determined to correct that.
Shit, I mean, is he a boxer? Do we even need Tank to be 100% to beat Jake Paul?
I mean, I would say be 100% because of his size. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that does. Yeah. That does make sense.
And Jake Paul is getting better with time. You know, compared to when he first started. He definitely he learning. A lot of guys ain't had no amateur fights. They turned pro and they learned on the job, and that's exactly what Jake doing. You know? Especially in the heavyweight division.
Do you think Jake Paul has enough size and power to stop Tank?
The first fight between Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis quickly became one of the most demanding and grueling battles of Davis's career. He had never been tested quite like that before, and Roach's relentless pressure pushed him to the edge. The rematch now stands as the ultimate proving ground. Can Davis make the critical adjustments needed to reclaim total control, or will Roach's difficult, pace-controlling style continue to give him serious problems? The answer to this question will define both of their legacies moving forward.
And most notably, I'll just speak about a fight that, we just had with Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach. My message to Tank after that fight, it was given a draw. A lot of controversy around Tank taking a knee due to hair band in his face or his eyes, so forth and so on, and burning his eyes. And in my opinion, it was a competitive fight. The judges judged it as a draw. A lot of people were saying it was rigged, all these different things, so forth and so on. Whatever it may be, the fight is over.
Roach himself has been very clear. Not every fighter can replicate what he did against Davis. He believes his success wasn't just about following a blueprint, it was about his unique skill set, his patience under pressure, and his ability to dictate the pace and rhythm of the fight. Roach insists that his approach is custom-built for his own abilities, and that trying to imitate his strategy without his specific tools would lead most fighters to fail. He sees himself as uniquely suited to neutralize Davis in ways that others simply cannot.
Lamont, you've now shown the world the formula to how to beat Tank Davis.
Maybe not. I mean, I'm me. I don't think a lot of guys possess the same skills that I have. If they go in there and try to fight like me, they might not succeed.
Tank's trainer, Kenny Ellis, isn't buying into the Roach hype. While he acknowledges that Roach has shown remarkable dedication and is pushing himself hard in training, Ellis argues that no amount of preparation can replace raw heart, grit, and the ability to endure real punishment inside the ring. In his eyes, training is only one part of the equation. Surviving a war with Gervonta Davis is something entirely different. Ellis believes Roach might be sharp in camp, but when it comes time to stand toe-to-toe with Tank, it's going to take more than just polished skills to last.
So, without the knee, you have it 7-5 Tank winning it. How does Tank feel after the loss? I mean, the draw.
I mean,
it seemed like he seemed like he took it well when he had the mic.
I went to the press with Tank. I mean, we didn't discuss it. I ain't talked to him yet.
Okay. Looking at all the fighters talk about the knee, does that surprise you?
Well, you got haters with everything he do. They just got Tank haters. But fighters been taking knees through the history of boxing. So people want to talk.
So you believe that this was an honest mistake when it came down to Tank taking that knee, or do you feel like this is something that happens in boxing?
It wasn't illegal, so I ain't gonna say it was a mistake.
That's why I asked you that exact way. Like, do you feel like it was a mistake, or do you feel like no, this is a veteran move? This is stuff that happens in boxing.
It happens in boxing. It happens in boxing. It wasn't illegal.
That wraps up today's breakdown. Make sure you stay tuned for more exclusive updates, deep analysis, and behind-the-scenes stories as we continue to follow this electrifying rivalry. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss the next video. Click the video on your screen now, and we'll catch you in the next one.